Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I greet you and I bring glad tidings. Today I've got a special guest in the building. We're not going to be on for too long. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the official CEO. CEO. This our hair is fine.
Let me use your logo.
Ha!
Slowly, right?
Blessing.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Where are you? Lagos, Port Harcourt, Enugu,
I'm in
Abuja.
Lagos.
You're in Lagos.
Yeah, Lagos.
Tell us about your lounge. When are you launching?
February, Valentine's Day. We should be bringing it live.
Woo! So people have the opportunity to come and experience breakup or makeup. Let's hope it's makeup they experience, not breakup.
The two of them, anyone they want. Cigarette.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm live with one of Nigeria's foremost relationship experts. And we're here to talk about, can a spouse be snatched? Husband snatcher, wife snatcher. Is it possible for them or for people to snatch a whole human being?
Is that a question?
What's your opinion?
Is it possible for somebody to snatch a whole human being?
Yes.
It's not possible.
I was about to say, oh.
It's not possible. The person is not biscuits now. You can only snatch an object.
My boyfriend. Sorry, she collected my boyfriend. She stole my husband. Listen, a grown man opens his eyes and makes a choice, or a grown woman makes a choice, then automatically you believe that because she chose or he chose the better person, they were snatched from you. We need to discuss this. I want you, before you share your perspective, let me quickly share mine. I'm not a relationship expert. That is your job.
Sure.
But I've heard too many stories. You see, one thing people don't know is if you sit people down and tell them to talk, they always make sense until you hear from the other side. Have you noticed?
Mm-hmm.
They always make sense. What happened? He never loved me. He didn't have time for me. He was always too busy, blah, blah, blah. Then you ask the other party, what happened? Anytime I try to reach out for her, she's always busy. Then when she has time and I have occupied myself with something else, she now says I don't have her time. So the narrative keeps switching. And everybody has a nice story to tell until you hear the second part. I personally believe that men or women are not objects. We have to depart from that, my wife. No, you don't own a wife, nor do you own a husband. The two of you are in a partnership. My wife, like it is your property, the way you say my house or my watch. What's your take on this, Blessing?
I agree with you, honestly. Like, we've agreed that a human being is not an object. You can only snatch an object, something that doesn't move, like a chair, a biscuit, sweets, and all that.
Yeah.
Until we are able to unlearn and relearn that a human being is not an object, it might be difficult for a lot of people to cope. First of all, I'm going to break down cheating. I'm going to break it down. Are you there, Daddy Freeze?
I'm listening, though.
Okay. I'm going to break cheating down in a layman's word. Now, what is cheating? This snatching we're talking about simply means somebody cheated on you, another woman collected your man, another man collected your woman. Should be good. Now, let's break it down in a layman's word. Before anybody collects anything from you as a human being, there is communication. You cannot snatch anybody without communication. Before people cheat, they see something they like and they're talking to that thing. Cheating can never happen without communication. So before anybody gets snatched, they know. So they agree to be snatched. In fact, they kept themselves in a way that, please snatch me, collect me. Right? You cannot be snatched as a human being if you don't allow, except probably they kidnapped you, you were raped, there was a gun on your head, right? Good. After this communication, there is a meeting. We met, we talked. I remember while we were communicating, you were sneaking and you were lying. Now, this lie and this sneaking were things that you created for yourself. You learned it. Some people created lies for themselves when they start to cheat. Now, a lot of people feel that the reason why most people use the word snatching, when your spouses go for another man or for another woman, people always feel like they are not good enough. No, stolen fruits are the sweetest. Some people just enjoy feeling smart. It's just like when people steal. When you steal something, the excitement about stealing, they say, you will feel like, say, now you get sense past everybody. Everybody sitting down here now, you just steal this phone. For your mind. Oh, Jagaba. So there's this excitement when you steal, when you cheat the next person, when you feel like you're smart. So after the communication, there's a meeting. After this meeting, there's a connection. You guys will now book for where you see, you might take her out, people meet in the hotel. While you guys are even taking off your clothes, another communication. Remember, you are lying, you are sneaking, you're lying to your spouses. Baby, hold up, you are with a girl. Good. Finally, there's a whole process that goes into sexual intercourse. You come up bra, you come up claw, you come up nika. After that, you make When you are done.
Let's remind me of one relationship I was in. I was calling the person was not picking her phone. I was calling. The person now finally came to meet me. I was like, why didn't you pick your phone? Said they were robbing in Ikoyi. So I put my phone in the boot.
What kind of lie is that?
I said, for 3 hours, your phone was in the boot.
Oh, shit, lioness.
Don't try to guess which relationship it was.
You said?
Don't try to guess which relationship it was.
Okay, let me not crack my head.
So
let me not crack my head.
All about communication. And I see that, you see, because they are going to book it starts with a text
call.
It starts with a
what
call. What are you wearing? Then
do
you know that before they even see, enough commitment would have happened inside WhatsApp.
We lie. I don't have a girlfriend. My wife is not here. In fact, my wife is not a good woman. You have lied. It simply means there is a motive. Before people cheat, it's a choice. You already have a motive. It simply means you know what you are doing. That is why you will strategize the lie. You are intentional about it. That's why personally, I don't forgive cheating. I don't forgive cheating because yes, once you cheat, I go. That is an unforgivable, both marriage and relationship. As a relationship expert, I can talk to you to forgive cheating, but me, I don't forgive cheating. It's a no-no. Because
Why?
I hate to feel stupid. Because as a relationship expert, I know what goes into cheating. I know what it takes before a man sleeps with a woman. It simply means you want to do it. You would have lied. You would have made a fool of me. When I was worried about you in hold up with another woman, I can't stand it. That's one thing I can't forgive.
When we were robbing in Ikoyi in hold up.
You were worried that something was wrong. No. So cheating is a learned act. You can unlearn it. It's something you are intentional about. You want to cheat. So when they say snatch, I feel people who use the word snatch are insecure men and insecure women. Yes, insecurity is what makes you feel like you own something. And I will not blame a lot of people because society makes people feel like marriage is a prize. Everybody wants to go and win it. It's an award. If you marry, you have made it in this life. So because people see marriage as a prize, when they marry, you see them wanting to tie their husband to their waist. One man asked his wife one day, they came for counseling, "Can you finish me?" The woman said, "I don't understand." He said, "Can you finish me?" She said, "Rephrase the question." The man said, "If I decide to be with only you, can you finish me?" And I asked the man, "What do you mean by can you finish me?" He said, "Can you satisfy me?" Ordinary, probably if I ask my wife for sex 2 times a day, she's tired. You are too sensitive. All you want is sex. So how do I satisfy my sexual desire? If you want to take her out, Every time he takes her out, she's complaining. Baby, you're spending money. Anytime he buys her a phone, she's complaining. Why will you buy me iPhone 13? It's too expensive. She's always complaining. So there was something he said, my wife does not know how to eat money. I want to spend, but she doesn't. She complains at every little thing. So I don't enjoy staying around her because she's always complaining. Okay, let's have the sex now. My leg is paining me. Drop my leg down. It's too high. Don't bind my waist. You know, then what's the issue? So a lot of people just feel like because I'm married to you.
Talk about that. We're gonna have to be careful with our wordplay because of Instagram and the weekend.
Okay, algorithm. Okay.
So let's just say when we are doing it, it. Now, this point raised is very, very important. Let me tell you, me for instance, I can't be in a relationship with a woman that is not satisfying me. I can't. All my life, I've worked with women. All my life. It's either I'm working with Kayla, or I'm working with Naomi and Amal and Zika, or I'm working with Ada Blessing, and they're all beautiful women. I've never worked with an ugly woman before. Worst case scenario, the woman is fine, but not my spec. But that the woman is not fine is impossible. How do you expect me to, and 80% of the time, or 70% of the time, they will be my spec. So how do you expect me to cope when I'm not being satisfied at home? And that is a discussion that people need to have. People live good. Why do you cheat? Primarily, it is to do it. Abby? Because Blessing, for instance, you and I are having a live show. We're not cheating on our spouses. We're having a live show. Before the live show, we had a communication. We chatted on the phone. We discussed, but it was not cheating. If you come to Lagos, you are somebody I can invite. Let's do dinner and let's discuss about work. It's not cheating. The only thing that makes it cheating is when we do it.
No.
Or when we do the things that lead to doing it.
It becomes cheating.
When does cheating start to you?
It becomes cheating. That's why I said there's a motive. It becomes cheating when you are now sneaking now. When you have, let's assume you have a motive towards me. When you want to call me, you will look left, you will look right. What's up, Blessing? What's up? It is a motive, yeah. That's how cheating starts.
But what I'm saying is that at the end of it, it is to do it.
It's to do it. Last.
No, all these things, not because I want to collect money from you. It's not because I want us to go so. It's priming
to do it.
It's pre-do it.
It's pre-do it.
It's how this doing it Eve. Like there's Christmas Eve. There's doing it Eve. So as long as that is not in the picture, it's not cheating. What makes it cheating is doing it and pre-doing it.
Okay.
Preparing, because what am I sneaking to talk to you for? It's not like there's one money I want to borrow from you. It's not like there's a book you are reading that I want you to share with me. It is preparing you. Hey, Blessing, how are you doing? How have you been? Just warming up those small talk. There's a destination. You understand? When aeroplane takes off, aeroplane just doesn't fly. When it takes off from Lagos, it's going to Port Harcourt, it's going to Abuja, it's going to Ilorin. Even when it takes off, it is still in Lagos, flying within Lagos airspace, but it is going somewhere. So that is a very, very important thing we need to discuss. And because it always ends in, do you know that if I'm sneaking to talk to you and having all those nice conversations, but we don't do it, can you still call it cheating?
Yes.
Now,
to me, cheating is that thing you are not comfortable doing in your spouse's front, and you do it behind them, whether you have an ulterior motive to do it or not. It is when you begin to see those things, that you cannot open your phone conveniently and say, baby, see, this is what I'm chatting with Blessing. That's cheating. Because you might be wanting to cheat with me, and I don't even know that that's what you have at the back of your mind. I might not know your motive.
Let me ask you a question. Imagine you are in a relationship with some guy, and he's hitting on some other girl, and they're catching, but eventually he never gets to do it, and they go their separate ways. You now stumble on his chats. That is cheating.
It's cheating, yeah.
Can you break up because of that?
Yes, I can.
And
yes, I can. Now, to me, like I said, I prefer my man or my husband to randomly pick up a whore, and knock, than a girlfriend. Because that is just that. Knock and he goes, he pays. But you see that communication. I've said it before. You don't, okay, if we're even talking about snatching, if you actually want to snatch a man or snatch a woman, if such word exists, you snatch them with communication. Not with the other one, not beg. It's with communication. Because when you are an intellectual woman, you can hold a man down with that. If something is wrong at work, he wants to talk to you. If something is wrong at home, he wants to talk to you. That is the snatching. And now he becomes more interested in you than the other person in the house. So I find it now, you're giving somebody my time. And this is the problem in relationship and marriage. Most people who have problem in their relationship and marriage do to their side chick what they don't do to their wives. Yeah. The kind of time they spend with their side chick, the kind of question, the kind of care they give to another woman. So now they've divided that attention. Something is distracting you. And when you are distracted as a man, that's when you are cheating. You don't even know what's going on in your house. You don't know whether your wife is sick because something is distracting you. That's why I used to tell people, fidelity simply means I want to be focused. Because in this part of the world, people think that when I'm faithful, I'm doing it. But no, the reason why I'll be faithful to a man is because I want to be focused. I want to know everything about him. That's why it's so easy for some women to catch their boyfriend when they start cheating, because you've known him, you know his body language. When he's uncomfortable, you know. It takes you to study someone to be able to know that. So that's cheating. So if you have those sneaky, it simply means the reason why you did not do it is because you did not have the opportunity to do it. If the opportunity comes, you go now.
Let me ask you a question, or from a guy's perspective. There are some guys that don't like housework. I, for one, I don't like housework. And I like to have fun. I like to go out. Not necessarily, I don't like weddings and all those kind of events, but I like restaurants, drives, going shopping, all those kind of things. But you see, there's some women that don't like that. They just want to be in the house, doing homework with the children. And you see, men get bored. Now, I remember one friend of mine who just used to leave the house. And one day I called him. I'm like, why do you leave the house all the time? You just leave your own house and come and sit in my own house. Why? He said it in Yoruba. He said, "Think back when leju. Waniko wa fefo. Waniko wa to ewedu." Do you speak Yoruba?
I understood what you said.
He said, when you stay in the house too long, they will say you should come and pluck ewedu leaves. They'll come and be giving you walk around the house. And he doesn't want to involve himself inside that. So it's appear to his wife that he's busy. And I realized that I used to do that too in a former relationship I was in. I would close work at 9 o'clock, but I just would not want to go home. What am I going home to come and do? So I'll hang around the office, gist, talk on the phone, play on my iPad for like at least 1 or 2 hours. By the time I go home, I'm exhausted. So in situations like that, the relationship is already dying because there are two people who are stuck together but view life differently. And there's one thing I need to tell you. See, women are okay until they start having children. I know many good women that the moment they start having children, they become useless to the man. They just become mothers to the children. Their whole world revolves around the children. What the children eat, what they will wear, and at the end of the day, the man who used to have your attention 24 hours a day, all of a sudden has 30 minutes of your attention in a day. And some men don't want to put their foot down and say, you know what? These children will be okay. Spend 10 or 15 minutes with them and let's go back to what me and you used to be. So it's a good relationship, but the woman just has a kid or has 2 kids and then goes straight into mother zone, zones everything out and just is a mother. I've seen women like that. Some father, or rarely, it's mostly the. There's no how a father loves his children that he will not have time to watch Arsenal match. There's no how a father will love his children that he will not have time to drink beer in the beer parlor or go to club on Friday. You understand what I'm saying? Now, a man's life is less complicated than a woman's life. This hair on your head and the hair on my head, the time it takes me to do my own is probably 10% of the time it takes you to do your own. Now, you need to wear clothes. Your nails, putting them on is work. Polishing them is more work. Removing them is equally work. So a woman that has, let's imagine she and her husband had 40% of their time together. Then she now has kids. So 30% of the time goes to the husband. You'll be amazed that even that remaining 10% will not immediately go to the husband. It will be shared among other womanly things. So how do you expect somebody to cope when what used to occupy his day is no longer available? And then, you see, because you raised the point of side chick no get pikin. Yes, if you marry that side chick, once she enters house, she can zone into mother zone and still be with. But you see, while the side chick, she has your time. Then, because she has not yet carried pregnant, if you say put one leg on the window, put the second leg inside the toilet, I'm using to be stepping on snake. She's all well and good. Then I don't know how you, but side chicks always have to maintain their wives. Yes. Let me tell you, when you marry a woman, you marry her community. You will take care of, even if you won't take care of her parents, you'll be involved in taking care of them. It will involve you. What are you dating side chick that you are taking care of her parents? Do you understand what I'm telling you?
I do.
Side chick is take this $1,000 and go and shop. You understand? High level side chicks are the ones that need house in Banana Island. You don't need all those. And half the time, let me tell you, all the high level side chicks I've seen in my life, they are not even fine. Do you understand? So the regular Unilag side chick, I used to have a friend who used to tell me that to go and pick babes in Unilag was like 7K a night. Nice, normal school babes that they'll even say thank you. So how do we deal with this situation? Because it will now look like the side chick snatched the guy. The guy has a vacuum in his life. And the side chick came and filled that vacuum. Then the wife is shouting, they have snatched my husband. Let's also flip it for the women. You marry a man, he had all your time, but all of a sudden, you now have 5 children. He has to pay bills. It was just me and you before, and house rent. Now, let me tell you, when you have children, there are 5 years bill that you'll be saving from now. Do you understand? You work over time, especially if you are silly enough to have many children in this part of the world. You go just they walk. You go they walk. So the woman now sometimes is the one that is, maybe she doesn't have such mother instinct that she has to follow her children everywhere like they are, that they've not cut the umbilical cord. So she now has some 30% of her time, and there's one young guy, or maybe her age mate, who they were in school together and he hasn't married. They've bonded from school. They have what to talk about. Oh, how is this person? Then there's gist. It doesn't look like cheating because the husband is not. So she can talk and even laugh at the top of her voice because there's nobody there. Then half of the time, these kind of men go for business meetings in Abuja, business meetings abroad. They're gone for 2 weeks at a stretch. So that 2 weeks, she's sitting down. Maybe she doesn't even have a bad intention. She just sat down to watch TV. And before she watched TV, she decided to upload her new picture. She took a picture maybe at the salon or coming out of the salon that day and change her DP. As she's dropping the phone, one message from an old classmate just came through and said, wow, you look nice. So do you know you've not changed since our university days? If there was an intention, she didn't have the intention. She did it with a plain heart. Are you serious? And women love flattery. There was one woman, I always say this to her. I walked into her shop and I needed a favor. And I just said, you are looking so beautiful. Just so that she would sign the thing for me. I don't know that the woman took it seriously. The husband had never complimented her before. Then this guy just walks in, person that needs you to sign something or help him with something. Or more. Now, so this woman thinks that maybe her husband, though, inside her husband's house. This thing we're talking about was not joke. So sometimes when you compliment a woman, even if now, do you know that there are instances where the guy and the girl don't have intention, but one thing is just leading to the other, and then intention now. Conversation, yes. Oh wow, you look so nice, and then they start chatting, and then the guy calls, and then they gist. Oh, what's up with this guy? Oh, what's up with that other person? Man. Then the guy now. Some people are very good at conversation. Then the guy just gist. Do you know that this girl? You know she got pregnant for one chief, and then they gave birth to the child DNA, and they realized that it wasn't even the chief. Wow. And they talked for 1 hour and she enjoyed the conversation. 4 days from now, the guy sends her a message. What's up? How are you doing? I'm fine. They chat again on WhatsApp. Before you know it, he don't enter phone call. She is keeping this guy company. This guy is keeping her company. And this, because the husband is not around. The husband comes in at 10 o'clock. She doesn't need to even have an issue. I remember I was in one relationship. Let me give you this story. I used to come home every night around 9:15. As soon as I enter, the person I was in relationship with would just be quiet watching TV. One day my spirit just said, check the phone. How I checked the phone. First day. He was on the phone with mobile. The number was saved as mobile. Mobile on the day. As in this gist, I want to give you a blessing. 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 25 minutes, mobile front desk. And the call always ends either 10 minutes before I enter or 5 minutes before I enter. Okay. That's how one day I decided, come. Who is this mobile front desk that is even calling you? No, what do I mean? That they were trying to book some jobs for the next day, blah, 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 blah. Say, no need for... That's how I collected it. I snatched the phone from her. I dialed it. The phone was ringing. I could hear football. I could hear beer parlor. I said, mobile front desk, go beer parlor. The person tell me, say, the person handling the phone, like I walk in, like I walk under a bridge, selling recharge card. Ordinary Cool FM front desk has a proper structured front desk. You are now telling me about mobile. The whole mobile. You can
maybe it's not the mobile that you thought.
Do you understand? You can carry a whole phone to a beer parlor. I say, this is mobile. Do you know the auntie defended it too? Hey, that what do I mean? That the person handling the phone could have gone to the beer parlor. And yes, me, I still believed it. So, explain these situations.
First thing first, my slogan to a lot of people that come to me is, do not spend an evening where you know you will not spend the night. It goes with the whole stuff. That thing you know you will not finish, don't start. Now, conversations, when a woman or a man wants to cheat, they know. It starts from a conversation. When you know, you can stop it or you can continue. When we were growing up, when a guy wants to ask you out, the first thing he tells you is, give me a chance. It simply means anything you give a chance, you have the tendency of loving it. Some people don't love you because they've not paid attention to you. They've not given you a chance. And the only way you can give people a chance is when you listen to them. Communication. If you communicate with somebody often, you have the tendency of loving them. What is love? Love is that person you talk to often. You talk to your wife every day. If another person comes into the picture and you don't have any intention, and you talk to the person every day, you have the tendency to love the person because you see yourself telling the person everything that happened during your day. It's a subconscious act. So what do? You guard yourself. And that's where priority comes in. You now choose who you want to talk to for a certain period and limit those you want to talk to for a certain period. And that's why you see sometimes some men don't even know how to differentiate between their wife and their mothers. You will see them talking to their mothers for so long. That's what we call mommy's boy. They get so attached to their mom because of the communications and the conversation. Because they can tell their mom, "Mommy, this is what happened," you know, stuff like that. So we need to be very careful about the people, how long we communicate with people. This thing we are shouting, love, 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 now talk, is who do you talk to often? I said it before. Commitment is not who you marry. Commitment is who you give your time to. And who you give your time to is who you talk to often. That's time. That person you want to spend, oh, baby, this is how my day went. This is how it happens. That's how it starts. That's love now. You find yourself falling for the person. Most of us fell in love with midnight call. They will be on the call, oh, midnight. Oh. Do you understand? And number two, we talked about housewives,
midnight
people who get married. You said?
Midnight call and free text message.
Did you did that? You did midnight call?
Let me give you G. I'll have 40 naira on my phone. So I'll send a free text to one girl that we're going to do midnight call. I say, how much do you have on your phone? She has 65 naira. I know then you have to have a minimum of 100 naira. So I'll say, send me your 60 naira. I'll send it back to you in the morning. So she send me the 60 naira. We'll wait till 12:01.
Bam! Every number.
God.
And we'll still go to work the next day.
Yes,
with
so
sleepy eye. We'll still wake up. I go to work the next day.
What a bonding time it was.
Yeah. So that you now see how powerful communication is underrated. Then we talked about the women who are married and move their affection to the children. Now, it takes us back to our roots. A lot of people don't know what is involved in marriage. Some people think marriage is telemundo. Marriage is a responsibility. So even as a young girl, you must know how to merge your time. Let's assume me now, I'm not married, right? Or let's assume I don't have kids and I'm working. If I don't know how to merge my time, my work will even affect my relationship. There's some people that work and they don't even have time to take care of themselves. They will work. They don't even have time to buy themselves good clothes. It's the same thing. We must learn what is called priority. If you don't learn priority, you might never be able to work any relationship or marriage. You must understand priority and the meaning of want and need. These two words, want and need, is very, very powerful. You must know what you want and what you need. When you know what you want and what you now know what to put first. Now, many women go to their children because, like we said, the moment they get married, they move their affection, they feel that their husbands are grown, their husbands can take care of themselves. And the reason why we have most of this problem is many men are not involved with their children. If they're involved with their children, the vacuum wouldn't be that much. They leave the whole work for the women. Some men don't even know their kids. Now, that time, most men are using to run out. You can bond with your children. You can help them do their assignments while your wife is doing something. Because when you are closer to your children, you can also bond with your wife.
Me, I did not like my own assignment when I was young. It's my children's own I like. When I was young, they tell you say I did do my own assignment.
Do you understand? Like when, let's assume your kids come back from school and you're helping with the assignment. You're bonding with your wife. You don't have to, like, some men don't do that. So if you help, you don't need to do house chores. But you can bond. You can, that little time, like now when a woman comes back, she's stressed out, she's in the kitchen, she's making sure everybody eats. Let's assume the man is just around, at least to just sit with the children and watch cartoon, so that she can be sane enough to focus. Those are the small things a man can do for a woman, and that's bonding. So when she comes to the parlor, she can bring the food together and they eat together. So why do some men like to run away from their home? It's because they give the woman so much work, it becomes hard. Because you still have to, because if you want to go and be doing lovey, if you fail at your duty as a mother, the man will still blame you. Society will still blame you. So most times, some women don't know how to merge it because their men don't help them. So I think we're just going to be like a little bit considerate and tell the men.
Scenario. some women get jealous of men spending time with children if they are not there.
Really?
Let me give you an example. I've never had a problem with going to the market. I like going to market. I hate dishes, but I don't mind going to the market. You know why I like going to the market? As I'm walking around in the market, I can just see this stockfish head looking very nice. I'll just price it. So the market to me is like a buffet. You know, sometimes you're going into the market, you're just moving around and something is in season. Maybe you plan to go and buy catfish and you just saw this extra large croaker looking so fresh. You understand? There was a day I went to the market. I wanted to buy catfish. If you saw the prawns, and the prawns, their legs were still doing like, so you know that they have not finished dying. Fresh. That's how I ended up buying prawns. Sometimes you go there and you just see some really big snails. So I used to like going shopping. Now, when the kids are on holiday, for instance, and they're just at home, I'll just take them into the car and say, you know what, let's go to ShopRite. My work started then at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock. I was doing roadshow on Cool FM. My ex will not come home till the evening. When she comes home, why are you taking the children with you alone to ShopRite? So that they can say they don't have a mother? So that people can say that. There was a time I went to the market. Do you know, my ex almost practically stopped me from going to the market. They will think your wife is irresponsible. You are going to the market. I'm like, but you have to go to work now. Why do I have to stress you and wait for you to come from work for you to go and get me something? And if I tell you to get me, you will not get it. So I have the whole morning to me. I'm not doing anything. Let me drive to the market with the kids and let me get prawns and snail or something exciting for myself in the evening. So sometimes now she would want me to do homework. I hate homework. I hated homework when I was a child. So something that I hated as a child, do you think I'm going to like it as a grown-up?
Even me, I hate homework.
I hate.
If you see me do homework with my son, I want to.
Child at home. If that child cannot do the homework by himself, he will fail the course. I will not do homework. I do not. I don't homework. How many I do?
I never used to understand the homework.
Is it that somebody did it for me? Or I didn't do the homework? Do you know there was the day I sat down, they gave us homework. I asked how many marks is the homework? The teacher said 15 marks. I calculated, I said, okay, if I can get 15 in the test and I can get 40 in the exam, I've passed. I will not do the homework. That's how I didn't do the homework. I managed and got my 15, and I managed and got my 40, and I passed. I had 55. My father said, you failed. What's my gas to you failed? I didn't do the homework. I didn't want to. The homework involved so much stress. Now, today's schools make it look like it's the parents and the children that are in the school together.
When the teacher tell me, Brian have homework, I'll say, I don't know all of them. I don't know all of them.
I will just... So, but I don't have problem bonding with the children, playing with them, talking to them. I sit down and sound my children out. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? Do you understand? I teach them skills. Let me teach you how to wash a bathroom. Take this spray, take this brush, use this brush here, use this sponge here. You understand? All my kids, Amarachi, for instance, if Amarachi washes car for you, oh, the car will be sparkling clean. I taught them how to wash car. So I spend time with them doing things. But sometimes, for instance, my ex wanted me to do homework and wash dishes, and I wasn't going to do homework and I wasn't going to wash dishes. So at the end of the day, it affected my relationship with the kids because the things I wanted to do with them, she saw it as something else. And the things she wanted me to do, I wasn't ready to do. So how do we even have these conversations? Because let me tell you, people are going to get married to strange people. People with strange ideas, strange needs, strange perceptions. Imagine somebody telling you that you are bonding with the children too much. People will be asking, where's their mother?
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question now that the freeze. I'll throw a question at you. Now, you've been married before and your first wife had this weird understanding. Now, your second marriage, do you notice that you have an understanding with her?
Yes.
That's the root we are talking about. Stop marrying strangers. So long as you marry strangers, life will always be difficult.
Blessing, they are not strangers when you marry them. They become strangers when they get jobs. Somebody that is normal all of a sudden gets a bank job, and that bank job just flips her cycle. And then she has kids. And then you realize that this was not the person you were in school with. Do you understand? Or the person meets a new set of friends and they influence them. So the person you married was not a stranger until they met their new friend, or they started going to this new church, or they started this new job, or they had this new set of kids, and all of a sudden they became strangers. So it's not every time where you marry a stranger. You are somebody. Me and my ex, for instance, were in the same course, in the same university, in the same class. So everything we did together. Went to school together. We literally had, I think she probably had maybe 2 classes that I didn't have, and I had maybe 1 class that she didn't have. The rest were doing the same homework together. We're attending the same classes together. We're copying the same notes together. You understand? But then we come out to the real world and we no longer have classes that we do together. I'm going off into entertainment. She's going off into oil and gas, meeting new friends, trying to drag me into that sector. Then another problem I had was I was on the radio. On the radio, there's no maturity. Let me give you an example. Many radio stations now are tuning into Generation Z, young, all these Buju, Ladipo generation. That's the kind of present. They are even facing out, some radio stations are facing out their old presenters and looking for young people. So you can't be on the radio. Now, my ex, for instance, went into oil and gas. With oil and gas, every day you mature more. Continue rising, you get more mature. On the radio, you stay the same age. Sometimes you devolve. So she would have believed that at a certain stage I would have been mature, I would have been a more daddy figure. For me, I was still yo, what's going on?
That's the job.
Brand new music from Wizkid. Oh, baby, Wizkid is doing something great right now. Oh, awesome stuff, Wizkid. Do you know he shut down O2 last night? Ladies and gentlemen, Wizkid, make some noise.
I should be like, what the?
Yeah, what? So, in her mind, now I'm wondering, why are you so serious? She's wondering, why are you so
playful?
You know, now my character on the radio was very controversial. What I'm doing on social media now, I used to do it on the radio before. So I would say those edgy things that would annoy people. And then it will annoy her.
Do not bring you home.
I remember one time I did an interview with Punch. And they asked me about my watches. And that's me. I don't know. I had a little bit to drink that day. So that's how I started ranting. I was telling them the prices of my watches. I was showing them my watches. That's how I came home. What I did not hear that day. Me from across the world, wondering if I'm safe. And you went to show your watches to the world so that people, what if people come and rob me? Watch that. The band is showing every day. This question showing every day. It's me that showed my own ones that they'll come and rob. Everybody's worried about the safety of me and the kids. You know, so look at me, for instance, right now. I'm doing live. Taste Buds is going downstairs to do her own live. Her work and my work cross. So she understands what I do. Sometimes we wake up in the morning at 9 o'clock and we are still in bed by 12. We are posting, scheduling, calling, paying. We're doing the same kind of work in the same space around the same kind of things. This today alone, this what I sent me 3 things. I want to post this. Help me spell check it. I want to post this. What do you think? What do you think about this picture? So we have a lot to vibe about with regards to our careers intertwining. Nothing radio and oil and gas gets. Nothing. It was so bad that many of the people she was working with did not even know me. So I want to bring you back. Sometimes you don't marry strangers. Sometimes people become strangers. And when they become strangers, what do you advise as a relationship counselor?
Now, it takes me back to something I said. I said it one time that people will leave you when you grow. Some people do not know how to handle growth. Now, I'm going to give an instance. A young man, I'm going to also use myself as an example since you told your story. My ex met me at 15, married me at 18. And when he married me, the problem I had with my ex was the fact that I grew up. I started having dreams. I wanted to work. I wanted to have business. It became a problem. He enjoyed that little girl that he could control, manipulate, and stuff. Some people are not used to that growth. And that is the time to let go. Because your growth will always be a problem to them. Some people don't know how to manage growth. And if you notice in some relationship and some marriage, some people deliberately refuse to grow for peace to reign. They are still the way they are. Because the moment they want to grow, their husband will say they have changed. Their wife will say that they have changed. So when such thing happens and you try to want to have conversations with them and they don't agree, that's where most times breakup coming. Because either your husband tell you, don't work, sit down here. No. Or the woman says, oh, my husband is changing. She doesn't want you to go to work. I had a recent case, a man lost, they are in court right now. They say he's not married again. What happened? The same thing. The woman was feeling through his phone, a contract he has been looking for almost 4 years. The woman went to go and call the madam, insulted the madam, give my husband the loan, God will punish you. And so work. The man said, God, the man had to file for a divorce before he could get that job back. He told the person, he said, I prefer to sacrifice this woman than sacrifice that job. I'm telling you. So I feel, yes, we could get married and return to strangers. But when you see these things happening, there are some certain things in relationship and marriage that you don't have power over. That's why when people are saying, die in marriage, marriage is for better for worse, this is where it comes in. You can't do anything because these people have suddenly become strangers. They don't want to understand. They now have an idol in their head. Like your ex-wife now will be imagining, I wish my husband was this gym guy that will wear suits in the morning. Idol in her head. My ex-husband, when I was 19 years, he said I should be wearing suits to school. In year 2, I said I can't be wearing suits. He said he was a banker. He worked with Keystone Bank. So he wanted me to be that madam. And I was still young. I wanted to wear jeans. He said, no, I must always wear. So he went to go and shop for suits for me. And I wasn't comfortable wearing suits. When we go out, he tell me, don't sit like a small girl. Cross your leg. I'll cross my leg. Do your head like this. I'll do my head like this. I'll be doing like, it was. So the idea is already in their head because every day he goes to the bank. He sees all this, corporate women and all that. So it wasn't working. So that's where in a relationship where you try to communicate and it's not working, my dear, everybody carry their bag and go. That's where separation or divorce comes in. You can't, when people are strangers to you, they will never understand. Everything is a problem. Everything is a problem. And when people become strangers, they bring out the animal in you. It's just like trolls. Trolls on the social media and Instagram, what do? They trigger you. Because they don't know you, they are strangers. Anything to make you to talk, they will do it. So that's what happens when your spouses become stranger. Communication becomes hard. Everything becomes a problem. If you do your eye like this, is a problem. So when you try to communicate with them and they don't agree, everybody has to just say goodbye.
Go their separate ways.
Go their separate way. It's hard, but that's the best solution, except we'll end up killing ourselves. Because most of us, what broke our relationships and marriage is the fact that we became strangers. This is a very powerful topic. Sometimes it's not like they were strangers, because my ex, even when I divorced my ex, people were asking, what happened? This was a guy that would take a bullet for me. Even before he married me, he came to the market. He held my mom by the leg that he wants to marry me. And now, when the marriage finally scattered, people said it was jazz. It wasn't jazz. We suddenly became strangers. He wanted me to be a stay-home mom, sit down. He said, even if I want to have a business, he's going to open one small kiosk for me to be selling recharge card. I said, nah, the way I'm going, I want to make a name for myself. So we became strangers because every career I wanted to pursue, he saw it like me being a prostitute. No, I don't want that. I don't want to. No. So it became a problem. Every phone call, every contact I made was a problem. So we started having conflicts. He would break my phone. He would smash my phone. Even when I tried to explain, even an ordinary hi, he will misunderstand it. So I think when people get to that point where they become strangers and comprehension become a problem, it's time to just say goodbye.
All right. Lovely, lovely, lovely having you, Blessing. This was such a nice conversation. We have to do this again, though.
Thank you, Daddy, please. Thank
Are you up for it?
Yeah, anytime. I'm good.
All right. I would reach out to you again. Thank you so much. On the parting note, what advice do you have as we part?
My advice to people will be, marriage is not that hard. Marriage is not an achievement. It's a personal tick for everybody. Let's take it one step at a time. Get to learn people, get to study people, get to build ourselves, because we attach so much to marriage. We see it like a prize. So when we get into that place and we don't meet our expectations, it becomes a problem. Let's all calm down and build ourselves. Unlearn all those. There's some certain things we have learned. We need to unlearn and relearn. Start afresh. And I think life is going to be easier and life is going to be better. That's all. Unlearn, relearn.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Blessing.
Right,
CEO.
Thank you so much for having me.
February, when your event center finally opens, and Blessing has really big dreams. Guys, you need to see this. It's going to be off the hizzle for shizzle. Thank you so much, Blessing, for joining. I
Thank you for having me.
Buds NG is live now at Taste Buds NG on Instagram. I'm going there now. When I cut off this video, I will try to see if I can join her own live. All of you, please, let's go there.
Let's move.
Let's move. Bless you, Blessing. Wow,
thank you so much, sir.
Blessing. You're already a blessing.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, guys. At Taste Buds NG, I'm going there now. Bye, guys.